and welcome to Saturday Fun Day with Connie. Admit it, you were dancing to the music now, weren't y'all, everybody?
I was.
It's too hard not to dance to that music. Um, so I want to welcome everybody on today's live. So far we have I don't know if Brenda's still here or not. But if she is, howdy howdy. And then we have Lisa Lou Who with Coping with Yarn, and Samantha with Samantha Stewart. How are y'all doing and what are y'all working on? Oh, I forgot to mention my guest star today is the one, the only, the fabulous Pam with BeeCreative Crafts.
Hey, everybody.
And if y'all haven't checked her out, please do so. I have her channel link in the description box of today's live. And you also have to hear her videos that she does where she sings. She is an amazing singer.
Aw, thank you.
You're welcome. And we also have Jenny here. Hi, Jenny. How are you today? And what are you working on? And another thing, too, I do want to welcome those that will be watching on replay. And if you do watch on replay, leave a comment, let us know, and feel free to answer any of the questions that we ask on today's live. Our main topic is going to be blankets, but usually about the first 30 minutes on my live, it's more chit chatting. My guest star usually shares things that they've been making or made, and then telling y'all a little about things going on their channels. And then the last hour of my live usually is the main topic, but sometimes it just kind of depends on how things go because sometimes we start talking about other things.
Yeah, I have a tendency to go off topic.
Yeah. Let's see. Samantha is working on her cottage core mosaic blanket and granny squares blanket and single crochet blanket and sedge stitch blanket.
Nice.
Awesome. And Jenny's working on socks. Are they crochet or knitted socks? Um, I've done knitted socks. Eventually I plan to do crochet socks, but I have to admit I love the look of knit socks more than crochet ones.
Right. They're just, I don't know. They look stretchier.
I find it has more of a clean look, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And the
Um,
yarn just pulls better. Pools. That's a southern word when I said it.
and Lisa is working on a wrap from Annie's Caring Crochet. Sweet. And in case y'all don't know, Lisa with Coping with Yarn is back to making videos again.
Nice.
Um, she had issues with her phone, so she is back. And if y'all haven't checked her out, check her out. She's fun. Let's see. And if anybody wants their channel links dropped, just type the word drop in the chat, and Mr. Nightbot will drop your channel link for you.
He's good at that.
Yeah. I need to figure out how to program him to kind of say some of the fun stuff. You know how like Dana with
Mhm. Oh, yeah, like with Wanderlust.
yeah. Usually it has something to do with
Jack Jack.
back. And I saw someone else did that too on their
Yeah.
lives. Um okay, and Lisa says she's also working on a mood blanket.
No, cool.
We also have Diane and Angela here. How are y'all?
Hello.
And what are y'all working on? Okay, the finished objects video, since it's close to February's finished projects video, I'm gonna I'm gonna combine like everything I had for January, with the February's one. So the video is going to be February 15th.
Okay.
It's going to have more pictures since I didn't do one for January. Um, but yeah, I decided to do that way because I was like, it's not that far from February 15th.
Right.
So I'm just going to combine instead of having one for January. Let's see. Angela's working on her scrappy blanket. Awesome. Jenny says, I agree, but I do want to try crochet socks one day. And I'm the same way. I do want to try doing crochet socks too. But my preference really is knit.
Right. I started a knit sock, but it's still in the process. I
I
got
made
sidetracked doing other things. I just haven't gotten back to it.
I made 2 pairs so far. When I make another pair of socks, I want to do some cabled socks.
Oh,
I
that would be
love
cute.
cables. I love, love, love cables.
Mm.
Let's see. We also have Wicked Granny, another Pamela.
Hello.
I think,
Yes.
yeah, she's a Pamela.
Yep, there's
Um,
another Pamela in here too. Mhm.
yeah, lately we've been getting a lot of Pams or Pamelas.
Because it's an awesome name, right?
Exactly. So we have Wicked Granny, Mindy, and Crystal that joined us. How
Hello,
are
hello.
y'all? And what are y'all working on? Mindy's drinking unsweetened tea. I have my
Mm.
I have my Wawa water.
When I'm drinking tea, it needs to be sweet. I don't want it like overly sweet, but I like it sweet.
See, great minds think alike. Me and Wicked Granny are both drinking water, and she's debating on what to start.
For those that have watched my channel for any length of time, y'all can guess what I'm drinking.
Me, it's usually water or coffee.
I'm not usually drinking water, but I have been doing better at work. Like when I finish my Dr. Pepper.
I was trying to think. I was like, I was like, it's either Mountain Dew, Pepsi, and then I
Yeah,
was like, or Dr. Pepper.
yeah. I have been filling up my bottle with water and trying to drink. And like this past week, I did really well. I drank 2 bottles of water to every 1 bottle of Dr. Pepper. So I was pretty impressed with myself.
Yeah, I used to be a Coca-holic. That was my go-to soda.
I have a cousin, hers is Pepsi.
But I haven't drank soda in like 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Yep,
That's great.
yep. And like I won't even let myself take a sip of it or anything.
Oh, yeah, because it'll suck you right back in.
Yeah, and it tastes horrible. Like if you stop drinking soda and the first time you drink it again,
Mm-hmm.
it tastes beyond horrible. But it draws you back in.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done that too many times in the past where I had stopped drinking soda for like a year, year and a half, maybe 2 years, but I
Mm-hmm.
always went back.
Yeah. Samantha asked what I'm working on. Samantha, right now I am working on untangling this anniversary cake. I was using one of these big bad boys and I got almost done with it and it just kind of collapsed in on itself. So before it got too tangly, I decided to ball it up so I could keep working with it.
Oh, I see a meow meow.
Yep, this is Tiny.
Hi, Tiny.
And see, here he is. He's laying on my yarn. Go on, get comfy. There you go.
They love laying on that yarn.
Yes, if you ever get anything from me, if you're allergic to cats, if you want a prize from me, just we'll have to do something different because it's gonna have cat on it.
Hmm.
There's no way around it.
Because it's like I work on my crochet and knitting, and my cats, they'll jump up on me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
They
and
like to,
even Yeah, even if he's not in here, I mean, I still have his fur on me, and so
They like to interfere with crochet and knitting time.
yep. And I have dogs too, so yeah,
Let's see.
it's a very pet friendly home.
Mindy's working on a crochet beanie. Nice. And speaking of Pam's or Pamela's, we have Pamela with green stick cottage here.
Right.
Oh, that didn't want to come out. And we also have Lisa the Grammy and Brenda. How are y'all? And what are y'all working on? Diane finished running around town, preparing for 5 to 7 inches of snow.
I saw that. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of snow.
Yep. And
There
it's
wouldn't be milk or bread anywhere for 30 miles if we were coming up with that amount of snow.
see, like here in Louisiana, especially the area I live in, you won't see that type of snow.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling if it was from here, if it was calling for that amount here, I mean there would be nothing left on the shelves because it would all be bought. I mean, and the thing is, it doesn't stay cold long enough for it to stick around for any length of time. So, but
Yeah, we always call our snow when we actually get it snow, but it's spelled Sneaux. Keep aging it up.
there you go.
But yeah, now like, but I have experienced snow like when I was in the Navy
Mm-hmm.
in Great Lakes, Illinois. It would snow there,
Yeah.
and I slipped in it a few times.
Oh yeah.
One time, the schoolhouse, um, I was coming, leaving the schoolhouse, and they had this
Mm-hmm.
ramp, and we usually would go down the ramp. And I started to go down it, and I slid right. I didn't hurt myself though.
Oh well, that's good.
But yeah, and then when Frank was a truck driver, I would go on the rig with him,
Mm-hmm.
and you would see snow. Now the worst thing was there was one time there was a section that forced putting on the chains on the tires,
Mm-hmm.
and poor Frank, he struggled with it, and every time he turned around he was trying to get them on, and people kept splashing him
Oh
because you were literally like right
yes,
on the
right
side of the
there.
road, which I think is so dangerous.
Yes.
But so then when he finally gets the chains on, um he drove maybe like 10 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and it was gone. The snow was gone. All that for like 10 minutes.
For it to be gone. Oh,
But yeah, tomorrow we're supposed to get like 3 inches of rain.
see, that's what we've had a lot of rain over the last week or so. Just a lot of rain and wind.
Yeah, we had some bad weather with the rain this past week too. There was one day it was raining hard. Let's see. Everyone's saying hello. Oh, Samantha has lemonade.
Mm.
Lemonade's yummy.
I haven't had lemonade in a long time.
And we have Flo that joined us. Hi, Flo. How are you and what are you working on? Um, let's see. Brenda's almost done with her V-stitch blanket. Got 17 more rows, then border. Awesome.
Nice.
Okay, so Crystal has a giveaway going on right now. Crystal with Crystal's Crochet Cubbyhole. She
Yeah.
recently reached 1,000 subbies, so
Woohoo!
congratulations.
Congratulations.
So yeah, y'all might want to check that out. Crystal, are you gonna be doing it a live event? Like a live giveaway? Let me know because I'll donate some patterns for it. Okay.
I, you said that made me think. I also have a giveaway going on my channel for my 1K. reaching 1,000, and it's going on through next weekend. And I have options for international and US only.
So, oh yeah, congratulations, Pam.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'll donate all my patterns to one winner for your event.
Cool.
Yeah, that's one thing. Those of y'all that have channels and y'all have like live events, that type of thing, I'm always willing to donate patterns. So just send me an email if you have something going on, and I'll tell you like how I'm gonna, what I'm gonna do. Like sometimes I'll do like one pattern, I might do like more than one winner. Sometimes I do all my patterns. It just depends on my mood that day.
I get it. I get it. I'm probably going to have a live event probably the end of February, sometime in March. I haven't decided yet when. Just got to work out all the particulars and get all the stuff together. So,
Yeah, I felt bad. It's like Dana with Dana Wonderlust Crochet, she emailed me,
mm-hmm.
About her live event, which I think was yesterday.
I
And
wasn't. I missed it. Oh no.
I know, I was like, I meant to, like, I was planning to donate patterns for it. And let's just say I'm behind. Um I have not I have been behind with doing videos the last couple of weeks. I played catch up on my emails today. um I need to play catch up on some of my YouTube comments. So I was like, oh no. But I did tell her that I was willing to donate patterns like on a on like maybe her next live or something, or if she just wanted to do like a video giveaway, that I would donate some patterns. I feel bad.
I didn't even get an alert. Usually I get alerts for when she's live, but I didn't get an alert for Granny D's the other day either, which was weird. And I always get hers, so
Yeah, but YouTube's glitchy.
yeah, so
Let's see.
oh, Pamela says that we didn't miss it. It's not till 4 p.m. Pacific today.
Oh, okay. I thought the email said the 27th. I don't know. She may not see my email in time. She may not see it, but I'll see. Let me check real quick to see if she may have responded.
And while you do that, you have a new member.
Yeah, I just was noticing that. Thank you so much, Brenda Young. I really appreciate it. So I have a little quick video to play. Stitchin' aliens. Yeah, thank you so much. Oh, we have another one. Angel
Renee.
today. I can't get nothing out. Sometimes I trip over my words.
Oh yeah, me too.
Thank you so much, Angel Renee. I again, I appreciate it. So I gotta play my little video again for you. where where am I? Let's see. Here it is. Again, thank y'all both so very much. When you become a Stitchin' Alien member, you get 5 of my patterns for free. So if y'all could send an email, and I do have I have Brenda's email. At least, yeah, I do have her email. I know I talk to her a lot on Messenger, but yeah, but I don't think I have Angel Renee's email. So send me an email so I can get your patterns to you. I'll send you my Ravelry link so you can pick which 5 you want. And whenever I release new patterns, which I haven't done in a while, if you're still a current member, then you'll get those for free. And I'll be adding your information in the description box of my videos and on my ending credits that I do, and have Nightbot drop your information. um,
Hey, Nancy.
Hello, Nancy. Yeah, like if those that have an actual channel, I'll put your channel link. But if you don't have a channel, then it just basically, I have it where it thanks you, where you get recognition. All right. I feel like there was something I was gonna say.
And you were going to look for something, and I'm sorry I distracted you, and now I don't remember what it was.
It's all
good.
You
were going to look at Dana's thing.
Yeah, I didn't get anything from her.
Oh, okay.
I may have let her. Like I said, it's probably too late for her live today. But I gave her the option she could do something later on. So, all right, let's see. And also, howdy, Angel Renee. How are you, and what are you working on? Okay, let's see. Okay, I am caught up. Yay! So, Pam, you want to share with everybody some of your current whips and finished projects?
Sure. Okay. What I'm working on right here is just a blanket. I'm using the tulip stitch.
Pretty.
I was going to do it with the Drunken Granny, but I didn't want it to be quite that holy. And Crystal at Bago Day has a pattern or has a tutorial for how to do this particular stitch. So if you want to use hers, and then this one is one I did a tutorial. I put it up last weekend. I called it the Happily Stained. Had to think about it. But I used Mandala Ombre Happy, and then the black is Red Heart Black. Super Savory and Black. But it's a really easy stitch. I kind of modified the millstone stitch so that you don't have to cut at the end of each pass. So I did that. That one's completed. Hold on. I'm just starting him. And then every year I do kind of like a scrappy blanket. And this one was from a couple years ago. And this is in the moss stitch. When that craze was going on and everybody was doing a moss stitch blanket. This is just random. There's no rhyme or reason. I just would reach in and grab a thing of yarn. And then this is the one I'm doing. I started this one last year, but I got sidetracked. But this is the one that I've been doing to make it look like a patchwork quilt. Let me get this one back out of the way. And this is a join as you go C2C, and I just keep adding all my little leftovers to it. So when it's done, it should look like an old-fashioned patchwork quilt.
Nice. You're not. You weren't wrong about liking making blankets.
Yep, I do. I have a lot, and I like to merge different patterns together. Like if I start one pattern, or if I like certain parts of a pattern, or if I don't want it to be, some of the really cool looking patterns have like maybe a section that has holes in it or something. So if I don't want it to be holy, I'll mix it up with something else. And sometimes I'll take 2 or 3 patterns and mix in with my own stuff. So I've got this one here. Hold on if I can get it up. And this was my scrappy blanket from, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, maybe. Had them all tucked in here so they're like in this little cubby hole here. But this one, the center is Sophie's Universe, which I like Sophie's Universe, and I've used that pattern several times.
Pretty. I know, I hear that pattern being brought up a lot.
Yeah, especially now there's a lot of channels that are doing it as a crochet along. And then I squared it off, made a bigger square using the Kaleidoscope Granny. which I first learned about Kaleidoscope Granny from Craig at Fiber Spider. And then I just kind of did my own things. And then this here, this little last section is the All in the Family.
Ooh, sweet.
From Crochet Crowd.
You know what's funny? For some reason, I always have trouble remembering Fiber Spider's name. I always think of him as Fiber Spider.
Right.
Now, when I hear, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Fiber Spider.
Yeah, and I try to put their name with their channel for the ones that I know. Just like Mikey is the Crochet Crowd. Bye, Crystal.
Bye, Crystal. I hope you have a good day. And we have Jessie that joined us. Howdy, howdy.
Hey, Jessie.
What are you working on?
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, beautiful blankets.
Yeah, I sent Connie a picture too. I just like taking different patterns and merging them together. But I wouldn't, they're not my designs. I just like taking other people's, taking what you like from other patterns and creating something unique.
Yeah, I'm going to be sharing those pictures in a bit.
Mm-hmm. And I don't, on the one that I sent you, that last one, I don't remember exactly what all patterns I used, but I do have a short video. I think it's like 2 or 3 minutes on my channel, and it tells what I used in each section. So I know the center part of it was a crochet mandala from Crochet Crowd. I like a lot of his stuff. He's just he's easy to follow along with.
Yeah.
And he usually does all of the Yarn Inspiration patterns. So if you find something on Yarn Inspiration's website and you can't follow a pattern, you can usually find Mikey, Marley Bird, and sometimes Jonah's Hands. They all have good tutorials for the majority of those patterns. So,
and that's also a way to learn how to read patterns.
Exactly.
Because like this is what I did with knitting with Morley Bird.
Mm-hmm.
I would do her video tutorials, and they would have a written pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And I would bring up the written pattern, and that's how I got familiar with how to work a written pattern.
Okay. Sophie's Universe has a written pattern and also has tutorials as well. Now, Deidre doesn't do the tutorials. She has somebody else do them for her, but yeah. See, I learned how to crochet when I was young, like 8 or 9. I think my mom taught me when I was around 8. And then my grandmother and her and my mom started giving me like crochet books and crochet magazines. So I learned how to read a pattern very early on. So, but yeah, it's if they're in it, and what's good too, like even if you're reading a pattern, sometimes it may be confusing because different designers write their patterns slightly different. So it's good if there is a tutorial that you can go to look to see, oh, that's how they wanted you to do that particular stitch. So, yep.
We have Tina that just joined us. Hi,
Hey,
Tina. How are you, and what are you working on? And I see Brenda was saying hi, Lynette. I didn't notice Lynette joining in.
Maybe it was is she a member? Did maybe Nightbot drop her link maybe?
No. I'm wondering if maybe she thought Camper 14's name was Lynette.
I don't know.
But her name is Tina. But if Lynette is here, welcome in. Yeah, and let us know what y'all are making. Yeah, because sometimes someone joins in that I don't notice.
Right. Well, and I noticed, I think it was last week. Last week, I was in somebody's live, and in StreamYard, it had all the chat, but in on my YouTube, I had it open so I could drop links and stuff on my phone, and there was people making comments, and they weren't flowing over to StreamYard. I think it was just something that was going on with StreamYard last week, but
yeah, there was one time I was live where um the comments just stopped showing on
Oh yeah,
here.
yeah. I was watching that one when that happened to you. It was that weekend. That weekend and the following. Was that last week? Last weekend and the following. The week you were talking about, and then the next weekend. So they must have been doing like updates and stuff because I've noticed too, like the private chat and the StreamYard has kind of changed up their layout just a little bit. So they must have been doing an update. Brenda says, "My bad. So many people. I mix them up. Girl, me too.
That's
All
what
the
I
time."
figured. That's what I figured. But I try not to miss greeting anybody,
Right.
because I do know there are some people that do get offended if they don't, get greeted.
Right. And I
And
try to greet everybody too. And I try to, like, when I get to the bottom of the chat, I try to say, if I missed you, I'm sorry. Shout me out again, yell it, type it in the chat,
exactly.
you know.
It's like if I don't greet you, it is never intentional, you know.
Yeah. Same here.
I try not to miss anybody, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the chat, jumps,
Yeah.
and especially when like there's a lot of activity,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you will miss stuff.
Right. And sometimes, like, if I'm in the chat with people, like, not up on the live, if I'm driving or something, and like Tina said, her chat doesn't only goes back so far. If I'm driving, I might miss somebody saying hi to me in the chat. So I try to just say, "Hey, everybody," and just it's not intentional if I don't say hi back to you. It's not.
Mm,
It's not that I don't not like you. It's just that
exactly.
I missed it. So.
Exactly. But yeah, like for instance, like giveaway events.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, I can't greet everybody, or
Right.
like whenever I've had like more popular content creators as a guest,
Right.
those with bigger channels.
Bye, Brenda.
Have a good day, Brenda. You know, like lives like that. You can't always keep up with everything.
Right, because sometimes the chat goes by quick.
Mm. Because it's like, you're trying to divide your time.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to include your guest store and also chat with everybody in the chat, and interact with y'all. And there's some times that you can't get to every comment,
Right.
you know, or sometimes you can't always keep up with the comments.
Right. And I put on one night somebody had asked a question and I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's a great question. I'll come right back to that." And I put it up on the screen. I'm like, "We'll come back to that."
And
And
you
then somebody
forgot.
else and I totally forgot. I felt so bad. I was like, "I'm sorry."
And I that's something I can be bad for. That I'm like, I'm gonna come back to this, and then you start going on and you forget.
Mhm.
Um, so do you have anything going on your channel that you want to tell everybody about?
Um like I said before, I do have that giveaway going on. It's going on through next weekend. So, um, it is open international. The only thing you have to do is you have to be a member of my or a subscriber to my channel, because it is a subscriber giveaway. So, but it is open worldwide. I do have options if you are not in the U.S. I have option for a gift card or PayPal. But if you're inside the United States, you're going to get a big box or a medium sized priority box jam full of random stuff. I'm sure there'll be
Cool.
yarn and who knows what else is going in there. I go live on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Central, and I usually drop a link. So if anybody wants to get up and hang out, if you've never gone live before and you're thinking about going live and you just want to get the jitters worked out, you're more than welcome to pop up, even if you want to come up for a minute or if you want to stay the whole time. That's up to you. That's about it. I try to post a video. In addition to that, I try to post 1 or 2 videos a week. I've been trying to do some shorts, just to get those, just so that I have something going up. So, but yeah, that's what I do. I ordered from that VIP cross stitch using your link that you gave with your coupon code. I ordered some of those, so I've got a video that I've got to do for those. I have a cross stitch, how to cross stitch tutorial that I'm working on that'll be coming out soon. So, yep, I
It's
think that's about
funny.
it.
It's funny you brought up the cross stitch VIP
Mm-hmm.
because they had contacted me a second time,
Mm-hmm.
and I just got the kits into a few days ago.
Oh, okay.
So I'll probably be putting a video out maybe tomorrow or Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get that video done soon.
I haven't worked. I haven't done any of the ones that I bought from them, but not yet to check them out to see how well they are to follow or anything. But I was still going to show them. They did not
Yeah,
contact me, or if they did, I didn't see that they contacted me. I knew they contacted you, and Craft and Kitty posted a video.
and
So,
they contacted me again quick after
well,
I did the first video.
so how do you decide which ones are legit to reply to when they contact you? Because I've been contacted 2 or 3 times by different people. The last one, just the wording of the email, I didn't feel comfortable. And one wanted me to get free stuff off of their Amazon, but I wasn't sure that it was, I don't know.
You see, I had that concern at first too. And I
Mm-hmm.
like initially I never bothered with the companies, you know, but I started thinking that as there's no reason they should be asking you for like banking information or anything like that. The
Right. Right.
the worst thing that would possibly happen is you would get spam.
Right.
And I do think I have gotten, spam emails due to some of these
Yeah.
that go in my spam folder.
Well, I know that the first one that contacted me for the Amazon one, I don't think they asked for my payment information, but they asked for something. Like I initially replied to them, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, absolutely." And then they asked for some sort of information that seemed a bit personal, but not really. So, and it was also before I had my PO box. So now that I have my PO box, I might be more inclined to, you know, because I mean they're going to obviously have to ship it to me somehow. So
Yeah, they will ask for your mailing address,
which I mean that's to be expected. So,
and
but yeah,
and they'll
but
ask for your email, but they already have your email since they're emailing you.
exactly.
And they will ask for your phone number, but that's because the customs form.
Right, right.
Um,
Wicked
but
Granny says go with your gut. Yep. And that's what I was thinking too. I just, but I need to look back and just, go through my emails again and just see because, So, hey,
yeah.
Tank.
Hi Tank, how are you? What are you working on? Yeah, because with that, because like I said, initially I was leery. And then I saw that Crystal the Orny Chicken and Crazy Cat Lady had done one of them. So I started asking her, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and she was like, yeah, she said there was one though she was kind of leery about. Um, but actually I did deal with that company and I didn't have any problems. And I think she has now too. Um, but yeah, like I said, if they're asking you like for banking information, that type of thing, then
Right,
run.
right. Run, run. Yeah.
And another thing I do to verify that it's a legit company, I don't click on their link.
Right.
Not until I know that it's, I Google for the
Legit.
company
Right.
and make sure everything seems to match up.
Yeah. Well, see, that's like this last email that I got. The name on the email was one name. The name of the person that signed it was a different name, and the name of the company that they wanted to check me out was a third name. And I was like, no. I was like, there's too many things not matching up. I mean, yeah. So, I mean, if you're going to send me an email and the name is not your name, I don't know. So, but yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Just kind of go with my gut. And, if I feel like it's not right, it's probably not right. But You had dealt with them, so just kind of wanted to get your feel for it.
Yeah, there was two like diamond painting companies that also had cross stitching.
Mm-hmm.
One was One Day Savings, and I'm trying to think of the name of the other one. I can't think offhand what it's called. Then there was the whisk bags, which a lot of people have done that one. Really, I would love it if they would contact me again. Hint, hint, if y'all watching. But I did let them know in an email that if they had like another campaign that I would love to um and um then the cross stitch VIP.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up, Tank.
Mm-hmm.
um I'll do, let's see. I'll do all of my patterns for one winner. A pattern bundle. I think I have 12 patterns.
Tina says she doesn't care who has her number, but she requests that they text her first, or she won't answer a number she don't. I'm the same way. If it says potential spam and I don't know who it is calling me, I usually just let it go to voicemail. And if they really want to get in touch with me, they'll leave a voicemail.
Exactly. Tank's fixing to play with yarn.
Me too. Except I'm not fixing to. I am.
But yeah, one thing I did want to mention, if y'all haven't checked out Pam, go check her out. Her link is in the description box of today's live. I do have a few things I do want to share with y'all, and then we'll start talking blankets more, or like I like to call them, blankies.
Yep. Oh yeah. Me too.
All right. So my live this coming Monday on January 30th, I'm going to be talking about like Valentine's Day makes. And I know it's short notice, but if I get enough pictures of everyone's Valentine Days make, I will do a little video on the live. Um, like I said, I really should have announced that earlier, but but now what I'm gonna do is you can still send me pictures until the end of the day on February 12th. And then I'm gonna upload the picture video as a regular video on Valentine's Day. So, if you don't get your pictures in time for Monday's live, you can still send them after the fact before I post the video. I'll have a love video on Valentine's Day. Then how I think it was last Monday. No, it was a Monday before. How we talked about silk yarn.
Mm-hmm.
I plan to do a picture video on Saturday, February 11th. Um, so if y'all have ever made anything with, silk fiber, and with silk, a lot of the silk yarn is mixed with another fiber, and that's fine, as long as it's something that has silk in it. Um, yeah, send those pictures by the end of the day, Thursday, February 2nd. And also one thing too, please like put like somewhere on the email or subject line like what type of picture you're sending, like especially yarn fibers, because I may not know which yarn fiber it is just by looking. Um, so
Did
yeah,
I
like put
did I
silk.
put it in mine?
Well, yeah, you had sent it while I was doing the live, so
Yeah.
I,
Oh,
I
okay,
knew it
okay,
was
okay. Yeah,
silk.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
But yeah, kind of like Valentine's, which that should
Right.
be obvious. But it would be helpful just to put Valentine, you know, like this silk makes, put silver. I'm not silk. Sorry. Um, then the following Monday, this Monday, February 6th, I'm going to be going back to yarn fibers. Um, And I'm going to do 2 yarn fibers because I don't like when I just do one fiber on a live, I find I get through the information quickly because I know like this past Monday, I struggled with that live. I barely got it to an hour. And normally I do an hour and a half.
Right.
And I was like, I think I'm going to do 2 fibers when I talk about the yarn fibers. So on the 11th, it's going to be, um, hold up, cashmere yarn and mohair yarn that I'll be
Ooh.
talking about. And I need those pictures the Saturday, by the end of the day, the Saturday before the live. Um, and again, make sure you put if it's cashmere or mohair. That way I know which one's which based on what you send me. And then, like I said earlier, February 15th, I will be doing the next finished projects video. Um, I'm just gonna take everything that was supposed to be in January's and put it in February's, since it's not that far from approaching that date.
Right.
And
Now,
then
in your silk video, you said you got the darn good yarn, right?
I have one thing that I had got.
Did
D
you
had.
get 2 of the worsted weight? Do you have 2 of any of those? Because I found that it didn't go very far. This is what's left of the second skein when I made that one hat, and it may also have to do with the stitching because I was doing Sunita's beanie, but
You
maybe
see,
with a different stitch you might could get an entire beanie out of it. But that's crochet too, so you might could go further on knit.
but yeah, you see, I have the one skein. I've never actually worked with silk before. But I have
This
that
was the
one
first time I
skein.
had, well, second time, yeah.
But yeah,
Hey Jen.
yeah.
Hey
See, we have
Jen. Hi
Charity,
Charity.
Jennifer.
And
How are
thank you,
y'all?
Nancy. Nancy said she's got me running in the background. Woohoo, thanks.
And what are y'all all working on? Oh, we have Holly too.
Oh, I missed Holly. Hi, Holly.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and kind of review the comments in a bit to make sure I didn't miss anything. So yeah, that's what's going on. And I did post this information on my community page and also in my Facebook group. So that
Okay.
way, what, can go back and look at what dates
I know
what.
when's what, yeah.
But yeah.
Tina says,
And
has anyone tried the yarn chain challenge yet? I have not, but I watched Jamie's Hooked. I think that's the name of her channel that started it. And so it's on my to-do list. I meant to do it this morning and I forgot. And then I saw Cynthia's video pop up and I went, oh, I didn't do that. So I'll be doing that after this. So that will be going up on my channel. So
awesome, awesome.
have you
Um,
seen it? She's got a challenge going to see how many chains you can do in a minute. And she just sent the challenge out to everybody. And then you can challenge people if you want to. But yeah, so I thought it sounds like fun. I'll try it.
I may try it. It just, it's like there's so much that I want to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, this one I figure I can do it as a short. Well, it won't be a short because you got a minute. But I mean, it'll be a short video. So, and I thought, if I mess it up, it's just for fun. So, if so, I figure I'll do it.
Cool. Oh, another thing too that I want to mention.
Mm.
If y'all have anything that y'all would like to see me do as a topic on a live, let me know. Like send me an email and let me know, and I'll try to find somebody that, you know, like as a guest star that, may know more about that subject and stuff like that.
Okay.
Um, because kind of like, I'd like to do some lives like on mosaic crochet or like Tunisian. So, like somebody that's really good. at stuff like that,
Hmm.
I would love them to come live with me.
You should talk to Liz from Liz Crochet on the mosaic. She really enjoys mosaic, and she's designed a few.
See, now one that I was thinking about was Michelle Mosaics and more.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was one. But yeah, because I would like to kind of, find different things. Like some of y'all may have kind of a specialty, things like what I just mentioned, dyeing yarn,
Hmm.
um, maybe making the polymer clay crochet hooks,
Right.
stitch markers, spinning yarn, different things like that.
Speaking of spinning, Chris, hey Chris, by the way, how you
Howdy,
doing?
Chris.
She said, "Have we seen Spring's chain challenge?" I have not. I'll have to go look for that. Hey Niecy,
Hi, Nisi. Yeah, everyone that's entering, howdy, howdy. How are y'all? And what are y'all working on? Let's
Charity
see.
said she just got through helping her husband change out a car part.
Ooh. Let's see.
So,
Polly saying cat right away, please. Um, I don't. Are you wanting to see our cats or?
well, my cat just showed his butt, literally. So he's gone again now.
Yeah, my cats are sleeping right now.
I'm sure he'll be back.
Um,
Uh,
now, um, I can't remember what day it was. It's been within the last couple of weeks. Me and Crystal did a live where we were talking about cats, and we shared a lot of patterns to do with cats.
oh, that's cool.
So I don't know if maybe that's what she's referring to. Let's see.
So somebody else said they did see Spring. So is Spring doing the same one where you to see how many chains you can do within a minute, Chris?
Let's see. Tina says I've only made this month one heart granny square, which really, Tina, you could send that picture because I have people that just send me, pictures of granny squares where it's not like the blanket's been finished. Um, yeah, I greeted
Good
Jennifer.
deal, Chris.
Okay.
Chris said yes, that is what Spring was doing. So I'll check hers out. I'm sure. I know there's a lot of people that have done it.
And Angel Renee saying that she had got some silk yarn that was from the thrift shop. It ended up feeling scratchy for me. It had linen mixed.
Mm.
Um, yeah, some silk is softer than others, and it really just
Mm-hmm.
depends on what it's mixed with
Right.
too.
Like this, if you buy it from Darn Good Yarns, it's recycled. But I mean, it's really soft. It worked up really nice.
Okay. And I greeted Chris and Nisi.
I don't know where my hat is. I was gonna show it. It's somewhere around here.
Yeah, and Tank's working on the donations for her birthday party and crocheting. Actually,
Mm.
speaking of which, I do want to mention this because it's not too far off now.
Mm-hmm.
I will be doing a birthday bash live giveaway event on
Okay.
February 27th. So, like, if there's anyone interested in donating prizes, send me an email. Um, also, and one thing I do want to mention, I don't want anyone to feel like they have to. That's only if you can and you want to. Um,
I think I emailed you back about that already. Is that what you emailed me on? I
um,
think. I think so.
I may have brought it up briefly in an email
I think so. I think I did. I think I replied to it. If so, you probably have it on a list.
because I was talking about like Monday lives. Um, And that's one thing too I'm curious about too, and I'm probably gonna put a poll out on this. Um, would y'all prefer me to do the live at my normal live spot on Monday at 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time?
Is that your birthday bash or?
Yeah, and I really want to do it on my birthday. So it falls on a Monday, my birthday.
I would just do it at what works best for you. Just do it at your regular time. I'll be at work, but I can put you on running on another tab. I may have to mute you if somebody calls or whatever, but I can still have you on, or won't mute you. I'll turn you down low. So
Now,
yeah.
one thing I thought about too was doing it in the evening, when more people, would be off of work.
No, that would work too. Yeah.
Because I know, like, in the morning, those at work, especially, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 type job,
Right.
wouldn't be able to make it.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking evening would probably work best for y'all.
I mean, as far as being able to which I mean, like I said, I mean, I can still participate on a Monday at work. I might not be able to participate as much, but your normal time, I can usually catch some of it when I go to lunch. So it's just whichever you prefer.
But yeah, like I said, I'll probably be doing a poll to kind of get a feel for what works best for people.
Yeah.
But
Niecy said it's snowing at her house and still snowing, and it's like super cold. Let's see. What'd she say? Let me scroll back up. 8 to 10 inches overnight, and it's still snowing. Yeah. Burr.
I'm like, oh gee, I'm running so far behind on everything today. Now that's one thing. Would you mind going over an hour and a half, Pam?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good today. Normally, it's like everything falls on the same day, which I do have something, but it's not until this evening, so I'm good.
Yeah, because sometimes we start, we get more chatty, and then, like I said earlier, normally I try like the first 30 minutes more the chattiness, and
Right.
then get into the main topic. But we're an hour in,
I
well,
can be
almost an
chatty,
hour,
so
and we hadn't even gotten into the main topic.
No, I guess we do need to do that. Oh yeah, we're an hour in. Yeah, we're talking about blankets today, y'all.
Let's see. I'm just gonna kind of skim the comments real quick. Um, make sure like there's no questions or anything.
See, an inch here, that's plenty. That's all I need. It covers the ground, it covers the road. I get to stay home. Everybody gets a snow day. That's what happens when it snows in the South, which is cool. And I know a lot of people think that it's because, oh, when it snows in the South, it shuts down. But we don't get a lot of snow, so we don't have all of the equipment to get rid of all the snow like they do up north. I mean, we do have a snow plow, but it takes, it just takes time because we might have 2 snow plows and not a whole fleet. So, and we do have, the brine that they put on the roads, but when it rains for 3 days before it turns to snow, it's hard to use the brine. So
Meow Meow's back, and he don't look like he wants you to crochet.
no, he's gonna sit. What I tell you, he's gonna sit right on that ball of yarn. There he goes. I need that. You can stay there. I just need this. We good. Okay.
Let's see. We have Angie that joined us. How are you?
Hi, Angie.
And what are you working on? Oh, Chris is saying Monday PM is taken up for her. Aw. So that's the one bad thing about lives.
Mm-hmm.
And one idea I have had that, and I may do this eventually, instead of doing a live event, like kind of do it like as a video.
Mm-hmm. I think it was Erin is the first one that I saw do this. And it was when she had her monetization party. She did her live event, but then midway through, she would do a replay event. So, like, if you are watching it live, you win this prize. If you're watching it on the replay and you put in a comment, she did a drawing later for the people watching the replay, which I thought was pretty cool. So I may do that, because that way, if you can't be there and watch the live, you don't feel like you've missed out, because if you catch the replay, you still have a chance to win a prize. So
See,
I thought that was a really good idea.
that is a good idea. Now the one aspect where I have thought about kind of doing the giveaway events, like
Mm-hmm.
like as a regular video, because I know there's some people that do not like to watch lives at all.
Right.
Um, so that has been an idea I have toyed with.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'd probably like do a prize like maybe for like 3 weeks out of the month or something. Some
Mm-hmm.
of that would be based on how many prizes I would get type
Right.
thing.
Right.
um Kind of do it like one video a day, and then at a certain point like do a
Oh
video
yeah.
picking all the winners,
Oh yeah. That would, yeah.
because a lot of times I do feel like you know not everyone can make the time of the live, and
Right.
they get left out.
Yeah.
And then like the ones that don't like lives, you
Mm-hmm.
know and it would kind of be more in a sense short and sweet.
Yeah. Hey Doris.
Hey Doris.
But yeah, I thought I would do what I would do when I do my live. Hopefully, hopefully I can get the watch hours and do a monetization party. Um, well, when I'm able to, but I will eventually get there. But that's what I was thinking about doing. Do the live, but then for every live prize, also to have a replay prize. And then leave it open for 2 weeks, because that gives everybody time to go back and watch,
Mm-hmm.
because they'll have to drop the specific word for each specific, But then that gives everybody a chance to be able to watch it and comment and, you know, go for get a prize or whatever.
So I may do that too. I may do a poll to see
Mm-hmm.
what everyone prefers.
Yeah.
um but if I would do a video, I would probably start it like on my birthday,
Mm-hmm.
since it's too it's I don't have as much time to get things started like for the beginning of February.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, and on top of that, I wish my birthday was further out, because it's like, I just had my 2-year anniversary,
Right.
and I feel funny, like, asking, for prize donations that's, like a couple of months later.
Right. Which I thought about too, doing it. I said I was going to do it at the end of February, 1st of March, but I also thought about too doing it in July and do it like a Christmas in July live event, or something like that. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I come up with.
But usually, it's like anniversaries and birthday that like
Mm-hmm.
it's more when, there is always a chance, could do something random somewhere,
Right.
but I just wish they were more spaced out. My birthday and my anniversary.
Yeah. Which my birthday and my anniversary are pretty close together too. So.
Alrighty. Let me share. Oh, hey, Pat, how are you today? And what are you working
Sparkle.
on? I did reply back to your email. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Um, but it explains like what happened. it, it 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 seems like there must have been an email glitch. But Lisa's gonna plans to mail your stitch markers out on Monday. Um, but yeah, I do apologize for that happening, and I also um sent you my patterns to make up for the delay. Okay, good, good, good. She got my email. Yeah, and I'm so sorry that that ended up happening. Um, and it was weird because I was like, why didn't I get an email? And and like I had actually emailed Pat, because I had her
Mhm.
email,
Right.
and it was like I never got anything back. And then, like, she emailed me checking on her price that she won for my podiversary,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, and I saw like an email, like, how like the emails stack up,
Yes.
and I saw
And
she had sent one around the date of my podiversary.
Gmail's bad about that. Especially if I'm looking at it on my phone. It's bad to just get mixed in. Like if they send me one and another one at the same time, it's like that one in the middle gets lost. It's like it's there, but I never get the notification that it's there. It's not separate.
Because I mean, unless somehow I overlooked it,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, I was looking for it.
Yeah.
And I did, and it was like I got the email and I noticed, there was, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you did, she did
Yeah.
email me, but yeah, everything's worked out with that now.
Good deal.
Let's see, we have the knit and crochet spot. How are you today?
Hello.
And what's your first name? Knit and crochet spot.
If you don't mind giving us.
Yeah. Yeah, because there are some people that prefer not to be,
Right.
username.
Yeah.
Um, and that's one thing. I never want somebody to say something they're not comfortable with.
Right.
Um, it's Melissa. Howdy,
Melissa,
howdy.
hello.
And what are you working on? All right. So we really are getting into blankets.
Lord, I promise.
Oh, okay. Guess who?
Aw, kitty kitty. Hey, Cassandra.
Howdy, cat. And we also have Cassandra. How are you? And what are you working on? All right. These are some pictures of some of Pam's blankets. Put up. It's difficult with my cat. And
He
notice she
knew. He knew
notice
you were getting ready. Or she knew you were getting ready to be clicking.
mhm. Yeah, notice she comes around when I need to pull stuff up. And she has this tendency. Like I'll be at my computer and she won't come around, but right about the time I go live, there she is.
Yep. Okay, so that one, I know the center part up to the bright yellow octagon. The center part is crochet along mandala from the crochet crowd. Then I octagoned it off, so the yellow round I made up. And then some of y'all might notice the octagon going into a square. Y'all might recognize that. That's from Sophie's Universe. I do have this is the one I was saying I have a video of that tells what each part is. But so that shows how it, yeah, how I got it back to a square. And that was a scrappy blanket I made for a friend last year for Christmas. She wasn't, she was bedridden for a while. So I thought at least she could have something bright and colorful.
And I love like those type of not shawls, blankets.
Mm-hmm.
I have shawls on the mind. That's what I'm currently working on is shawls. But I always love like the kind of like I don't know how to describe it really, but
Mm-hmm.
kind of like this type of look. Which you'll notice by a lot of the patterns that I'm going to be sharing that I like this look. All right, let's get the next one up.
And I usually prefer rectangle blankets, but here lately I've been doing a lot of squares.
And here's this one.
And that is actually a checkers. It's the backside is solid black and it has an open pouch. And then I crochet the checkers and they go in the back. But it's a pretty good size, so you could use it or convert it to a lap blanket. But so, hey Regina,
Hi, Regina. How are
hey
you today?
Cheryl.
And what you working on? And actually, I think there is a pattern that I picked to share that that has kind of like a checkered look too.
And and I sent, if anybody's interested in making that I actually printed off a long time ago, back when Red Heart was still redheart.com, but now Yarnspiration has picked it up. So Connie does have the link for that checker board.
All right. And we also have Cheryl that joined us.
Hi.
How are you doing today, Cheryl? And what you're working on?
And that checkerboard also made, woo, I don't know if y'all know, but University of Tennessee, our end zone is a orange and white checkerboard. So I also made that checkerboard checkers to sell at craft shows in orange and white because, Tennessee. That is just Red Heart Super Saver. It was in a black and red variegated, and that is just how the yarn pulled when I made it. Like, I didn't do anything special. That's just a V-stitch. I just made it up as I went, but that's just how it pulled.
Nice. Tia Tank asked who did that.
Who did what?
That's what I was going to ask. What are you referring to, Tank? Let's see.
Let me scroll back up.
I'm pulling up the. I didn't know.
Are you saying who did that on the blanket she was showing, or did somebody say something in the chat?
Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm not sure.
Hey, Charity, I feel you. She said she stirred up some dust in her son's room cleaning. Yeah, that messes with my allergies. Okay, so this one, my brother-in-law asked me if I would make him a Game of Thrones blanket to give to his girlfriend at the time. And so I took a picture and I created a graph. And oh my word, talk about ends to weave in. Each one of those little scales, whew, I told him I would never do it again. That's before I'd ever learned about mosaic. So now that I know how to do it, and now that I know how to do these drop stitches, I might could redo that one. But holy smokes, that one took forever. Because I want to see, it's about yay wide. And the part where his face is all single crochet.
Yeah, blankets can be time consuming.
Yeah, so he's a Grafgan, and he looks the same on both sides.
And that was one thing. I forgot about that. Initially, I was wanting us to talk a little bit more about Grafgans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I designed that one. I have a cross-stitch pattern maker, and so I just take pictures and I scan them in, and then I create a graph, and then I just do, sometimes I'll do one single crochet per for each stitch. One single crochet equals one cross stitch on the graph, and sometimes I'll do it as a C2C, and each square will be one C2C square, so it's not as pixelated.
But that is an idea for a future topic on a live. Like anyone that makes a lot of Grafgans.
And I've got several Grafgans. I mean, we could do a whole nother segment.
Yeah, I need to try to get my live scheduled for February.
Yep, and you've got another picture of a Grafgan that I did in C2C, and I did the same thing. I just found a picture online. I actually found a picture of I combined a couple of different pictures and moved the pieces parts around until I got it to look like I wanted to. So
oh, I thought I pulled this up. I did, but I didn't pull it on my screen. Let's see. Here's another one.
And that's a scrapgan that I made for a family Christmas party after my grandmother passed away. I got all of her yarn. Some were full skeins, some were partial skeins. And so that, I want to say it's called the stacked shell, but it was coming up too wholly. So instead of working it all in the middle stitch, I just kind of modified it. But I got the stitch out of a stitch book that I have. So
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thanks, y'all. By saying pretty. Nancy said she bought a GraphGam book and have yet to open it. There's so many projects she wants to try, but not enough time. I feel you. Nancy said she'd like to learn how to do a GraphGam one day. It looks complicated. You know, it's really not that complicated, but it's all about counting. And if when you decide to do one, I would start out with something small. The first one I did was a Superman one for my son, and check it frequently. Like if you think your stitches are right, lay it out and look at it, because if you get one stitch off, it's going to shift everything. So it's all about counting. It's the same as like with cross stitching. It's just if you notice a stitch is out of place 10 rows back, you either have to live with it or frog it.
And that's one thing. Like back in the day when I learned cross stitching, like I didn't know anything about like how like some people will kind of graph the cloth to make it the counts easier. Um, so I learned like where you just go by the pattern and on a blank no graph to make it easier.
Same. Mine's
And
plain white.
yeah, it was so easy to make mistakes.
Now I will tell you on that VIP, I bought a counted cross stitch and I bought the stamped. The counted one already has it doesn't have the image on it, but it does have the grid. Hey Cindy. So that's So that's
Hi,
good to know.
Cindy. How are you and what are you working on? But yeah, graph GANs is something that I do eventually want to do. And I even purchased a pattern to do one. So I think it was like last year I was planning to do it, but then I got burnt out on blankets.
Usually I start them and I have other projects going at the same time.
So eventually I'll get to it. Eventually. One day, it might be 10 years from now. All right, let me pull up another picture.
Okay.
But yeah. But yeah, talking kind of about, someone experienced, kind of talking about kind of helpful information.
Yeah.
And like sharing GraphGAN patterns.
Yeah.
But most GraphGAN patterns you have to pay for. You don't find many free ones.
Yeah. I just create my own. This blanket here is a chevron. Chevron is actually the first stitch I ever learned. My mom taught me how to do a single crochet, double crochet, how to chain. But the first like pattern, like after she taught me that, was the chevron. So I have a lot of chevron blankets, and that was a baby blanket that I made for Tiffany's baby.
Pretty.
The colors behind is what, that's the color she was doing the baby's blanket in, the Be Strong stuff from Hobby Lobby. So that's where the colors came from for that.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you. But yeah, while you pull up another picture on, if you're doing GraphGANs, if you've got one in the works, I suggest to keep your yarn from getting all tangled up. I bought some little small drawstring burlap sacks. Oh wait, I've got one right here actually. And these are just big enough to hold a skein of yarn. And then I bought some clips, some plastic clips, and I clip it to the blanket so that it doesn't get super tangled up. That is a baby blanket I made, and I used the basket weave stitch. I didn't go by pattern, I just winged it.
And that's the one thing, especially blankets. You just find a stitch and you just kind of go with the stitch.
Now, I will tell y'all, if you've never done the basket weave stitch, it is a yarn eater. So make sure you have way more yarn than you think you're going to need. It does make a super awesome, thick, squishy fiber, but it does use a lot of yarn.
Let's see. Let's get to the next one. Oh, I do want to ask a question. What is everybody's like favorite style of blankets? Do y'all have like a certain style? How about you, Pam?
For me, it depends what I'm making it for. Like when I found out I was having a granddaughter, I went on the search for the most intricate, gorgeous, beautiful blanket I could find, and that's what I wanted to do. But I do all of them from simple to not. That's the unicorn one I was talking about, and I know that yellow looks like yellow, but it's really a soft butter yellow. But that's corner to corner. If you do want to start with a graffian, I do suggest starting out with something simple or what appears to be simple. Like, even though at one point in this blanket, you're going to be carrying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're fine. 5 skeins of yarn.
Sorry about that.
Because you're working at a diagonal.
I think Alley Cat hit a button.
No worries.
But yeah, for me, when it comes to patterns or favorite type of blanket, there's the Graphgans that I really love, and then also, like I mentioned before, those kind of like multicolor kind of square blanket that
Right.
kind of goes in the square direction.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are beautiful.
Yep. So, like, if you like going from the center out, there's a ton of different ones. There's even some where you can work from the center out that end up rectangle or octagon or all kinds of crazy shapes.
Yeah,
Pamela says she likes a sampler. Yep.
this is the style basically I'm talking about.
And that is the All Together by the Crochet Crowd. And he came out with that right at the beginning of 2020. We'll just word it that way.
Awesome.
And it was his crochet along. And I just picked random colors for that one too. I mean, they gave like set colors that they were using, and I just used what I had in my stash. Pamela says she likes doing samplers where each square is different. Yep. And I thought about doing a crochet along this year or make along and do one, but I just didn't get it. I didn't get it organized enough to do it. So I still may do it later. Doris said that's why she loves doing blankets, because she can just pick a stitch and then she just doesn't have to think about it. She can just roll with it.
And Nancy's asking, how long has everyone been crocheting? Go ahead, Pam.
I've been crocheting since I was 8, but I did, like when I was really young, like 8, 9, 10, I made a lot of baby blankets. I made a lot of toilet paper covers, made a lot of hats, and I didn't have patterns. I didn't have YouTube. I mean, so I just made it up. And then I got older, I felt out of doing it. Then when I had kids, when they were really little, they didn't want me doing it, or significant other that didn't want me working on it. But so
yeah, for me, I'm a baby to crochet. I started in September of 2020.
But you're doing great. But you've been knitting longer, so
yeah, I started knitting about a year before that.
Oh, so you're new to
half.
So you're fairly new to the yarny fiber altogether. Well, we're glad to have you.
Thanks.
This one is Nordic Stripe by Yarnspirations. It was another one that was originally a red heart, and then Yarnspirations has it. There are tutorials on the Crochet Crowd on how to make this one. I think Yarnspirations has it on theirs as well. And I used scrap yarn that went to my brother. He had a house fire, so a lot of that yarn was yarn I salvaged from his blanket that was damaged. And the way they do this mosaic, you don't have to cut at the end of each row. So I did the same thing. I carried it up the side as I did with this one, because I hate weaving it ends.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, now before I learned how to knit, I was loom knitting. So I started with loom knitting, moved on to knitting, then crochet. All right. Let's get this up.
Let's see. Nancy says she started at 13 and she's 53 now. Her grandmother taught her to make granny squares and she's taught herself everything else. Well, my mom taught me the basics, and then I got the, like I said, they gave me crochet books and magazines, and I taught myself everything else. This is, well, I didn't say I taught myself, or I watched how to do it on YouTube. This here is my Sophie. That's my granddaughter's baby blanket. And I just picked random baby colors. Some of it was using yarn that my grandmother was in her stash after she passed away. So she's got a little bit of her. And then I made one for my grandson too, but I didn't use Sophie for him because it was very feminine. And I told him, her my daughter-in-law's mom was like, you need to put that up. And I was like, no, you better let that baby girl crawl around on the floor with that blanket. I said, I made it to be used. I'm like, I can make her another one. That's to be used and loved on.
Yeah, this is a style I love. And one question that I will be asking after a while, but since I have this picture up, I'm going to mention this part now. This is what Pam said has been her favorite blanket she's made.
Mm-hmm.
And also, didn't you say it was your most challenging one too?
Yes, and if you see how it's drawing in a little bit, if y'all make this blanket in the crochet tutorials like on YouTube, I don't know if she says it in the video or if because I got to where I would just skip to where it started the stitch part of it. But she also has a free written pattern. And it says it in the written part, but I was like watching it while I was watching TV and stuff. I crochet very tight. And in the video, she keeps saying, don't worry if it's curling in, it will lay flat. No, it will not. No, but what she mentions in the pattern, and like I said, I don't know if she says it in the tutorial because it's two different people, but go up. She says you'll need 2 hook sizes in the pattern. In the written pattern, she says use 2 hook sizes. She uses the larger hook for the single crochet rounds so that it does, so you don't have to worry about tension as much. So definitely go up on your single crochet rounds, especially if you crochet tight like I do. Otherwise, it's going to turn out like that. And I almost frogged this back, but holy smokes, it was way back. There were a lot of rounds. So I just decided to leave it. And I kept laying it down to make sure that it was laying flat, and it was until I got to the next section, and then it wasn't. So.
But that one's beautiful.
Thank you.
All right, let's see. Okay. One thing I'm curious too, what is everyone's favorite size blanket to make? I couldn't get my words out again. What's the favorite size for you?
My favorite size, I tend to make them all a little bit wider than a twin size bed. That way, if somebody wants to use it on a bed, they can, but then it's plenty long enough for any height of a person. I try to make it as long as a twin mattress, too. That way, if you're sitting on the couch, it's going to cover your feet. Yeah, that's usually about the size I make. Sometimes I'll make them a little wider, just do a big square. So.
See, for me, I would probably go with like Afghans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Afghans.
They're more easy to, they don't take as long to make. Mm-hmm. And also, they're more convenient when you want like something just to throw over you whenever you're cold.
My problem is figuring out how big an Afghan is. Like I'll look and it'll say like, a throw blanket is this size. And so I try to grab like my blankets that I bought like at, say, like Buc-ee's or the ones that they sell at Walmart at Christmas time. But when I make up a blanket that size, I'm like, it just looks like a baby blanket size. But
yeah. Now, I love like the really big blankets, but those take a lot longer, like especially like texture, ones. But overall, I think the Afghans. but I like making mine a little longer because I don't like my feet to stick out.
Right.
Let's see. Angel Renee says twin or big IH. I'm not sure what you mean by big IH. Um,
I think
Pamela.
probably twin or bigger.
Okay. Pamela says 4 by 6 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Chris says lap gans. Yeah. I feel bad because I'm running into Granny D's life.
She won't care.
Yeah. I try to finish, for when hers starts,
Yep.
but sometimes I go over. Let's see. Chris says wheelchair lap gan, or it depends on person.
Right.
Lisa says my blankets just keep ending up big enough to cover my queen size bed with extra room or full for a kid. Angel Renee says, I have to admit, I have never made a fancy stitch blanket. Yeah, I really haven't done a lot with blankets. Um, I I get like I get burnt out with blankets.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's one thing with the Sophie I found, um, because it's so many different stitches. It kept my attention, but it did take a while because there are a lot of rounds where you have to drop down 3 rounds prior, and so if you ever get your count off, it's harder to fudge it to make it work. So,
Yeah, but that's the one thing like with blankets. It's like I like that feeling of accomplishment,
mm-hmm,
and so that's harder for me. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I'll do like shawls and stuff, but I find I
mm-hmm,
can, a shawl's quicker than a blanket.
yeah,
But
yeah. Well,
yeah, but I do hope like when we get done that y'all go join Granny D.
absolutely. Have I done any Helen Shrimpton blankets? You've done 3 of her Sacred Space. See, that's what I was looking for because Connie had asked me to send her some blanket patterns, but the ones that I had saved, like the links no longer worked. But yeah, her blankets are gorgeous. I think she's got one called the Phoenix. Oh my gosh, her blankets are amazing. Yep. Yeah, and her Sacred Space, gorgeous. So yeah, Tank is right. Y'all need to go if you want to do a really gorgeous, intricate. I mean, hers turn out. I mean, they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I think I'm on her. I'm on her Facebook group, and I just am in awe of a lot of those patterns.
I've never heard of her before.
Oh my god! Oh, her patterns, Connie, are amazing. Like all of her patterns are of the Sophie's Universe caliber.
And let's see, Cindy saying, I have made a fancy blanket, but it was my first one and I gave it to my grandmother and she never used it, afraid she would tear it up or something. I wish now that she had used it and tore it up.
Mm-hmm.
And Tank saying that Helen Shrimpton
Mm-hmm.
started selling the patterns and the tutorials or only if you buy the patterns.
Yeah.
And we have Laura Lee in the house.
Hey, Lorly.
How are you and what are you working on?
Ooh,
Regina is asking if you've ever done Bonnie Bay blanket. Um, now,
I have not. I don't think I have any. That name doesn't sound familiar.
yeah, I haven't, but I love a lot of her patterns.
I'll have to check her out.
Like in general, like like shawls and stuff like that. She has some um, beautiful patterns. Laura,
Nancy is $10 tea cake for price for not including shipping. Is it to finish your blanket? If it's the only one you can find so that you can finish your blanket, it's not a horrible price, but it's not a great price. I mean, they're going to be making money on it, but they probably cost more in Canada because their prices are more expensive on those. But I would probably go ahead and get it if that's the only one you can find so you can finish your blanket.
And another thing too, like eBay, you may be able to find it.
Oh, we've been trying to help her find this for a couple of weeks. It's just a discontinued color of a tea cake.
But
Oolong tea.
typically eBay is more expensive.
Yeah.
And then Marketplace is another place maybe to look if you haven't already.
And she found some on Ravelry, but I don't know if the lady ever got back to her. And that may, so, but.
Laura Lee, yeah, I had gotten the Granny Square one. Yeah, I got that. I did respond back to you. um, but yeah, I did get it. Cheryl says Janie Crow also designs gorgeous, and
Janie, I need to write these down. Okay.
My chat jumped on me. Janie Crow also designs gorgeous and intricate afghans. See, I'd never heard of her either.
Me either. Bonnie Bay. I'm going to write these down. Bonnie Bay. Janie Crow.
And we have Susan that joined us. Howdy, Susan. How are you and what are you working on? All right.
Tank, yeah, it's the Karen tea cake. Like, they have the lava cakes and all those, but they had one that was called tea cake. TEA, yes, tea. And all of the colorways are named after tea, like brands of tea, like oolong tea. And that's the only one that's popping in my mind right now because that's the color. But yeah.
Can one of my moderators drop Pam's link? And also her link is in the description box of today's live.
Okay, hold
on. Let's see. Allie, you're in my way, baby. Okay. So what is everybody's favorite blanket that they've made? And I know Pam said the Sophie's Universe. And I'm going to share what mine has been. And some of y'all have seen this before.
I dropped my link.
Okay, good. All right, let me get this picture up. It was the ocean blanket that I made.
I like that. That's cute. Thank you, Samantha.
Who knew I was going to share this one?
That's cute. That looks like it would have taken forever to make all those little appliques too and sew them on.
That was the part. Which this is also the most challenging blanket I've made, and it's because of the little pieces.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I can tell you my least favorite type of blanket to make is ones that I gotta sew all the pieces parts together after it's done.
And that was the major thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because all those appliques, like some of them had like 19 pieces to sew together just for one applique.
Awesome. Thank you, Nancy.
So that's where oh no, that's the wrong thing. I thought maybe I would get to what I wanted better, but I just discovered something that would make my life easier with the pictures. So especially like if I order the pictures the way that I want to.
Right.
But let me pull. Okay, Allie makes things so difficult.
Right, Renee. She said that looks time consuming and probably gave you a feeling of accomplishment when it was done.
Oh yeah, because the blanket itself didn't take that long.
Mm-hmm.
It's the appliques.
Mm-hmm.
But I got like the most compliments on this blanket than I think anything I've made.
It's so cute.
And this is what the top part looks like. So you can see it better. The crabs.
Those are so cute. Cheryl said a C2C that featured a huge pop art flower was the favorite that she's made. Cool.
And here's the bottom part. Granted, this picture's a little blurry.
That's still really cute. And that's really, I mean, you're doing an amazing job to have not been crocheting for very long.
And the funny thing is, this blanket I made like I think during my first year of crocheting.
Look, see, and you started out with a chevron stitch too.
Let's see. Oh, thank y'all, everybody. Okay, yeah. Tank also dropped your link, and Samantha.
Yep. Thanks, y'all.
And even Nightbot dropped your link.
I think Nightbot dropped it. I went onto the chat and typed in drop.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Susan's working on Jada Stitch's 2023 crochet along blanket.
I started her 2022 crochet along, but I haven't finished it. I got about to June, so I need to go back and finish it. But I wasn't doing it as a blanket. I did it as a scarf. She was doing a Tunisian one. So, Laura Lee says she likes the Persian tile blanket, but it is hard.
Let's see. And one thing too with that the blanket that I showed y'all, the ocean sea turtle one.
Mm-hmm.
I took the initial blanket pattern, and then like I had purchased some of the appliques off of Etsy. There was some video tutorials. I kind of found like ocean appliques everywhere. So I went.
Made it up. Nice.
But it started off with the basic, sea turtle blanket.
Lisa the Grammy said she's made 2 whatchamacallit blankets, and they're really cool looking.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, Angel Renee, that was a big feeling of accomplishment when I finished that blanket. It was like, you didn't think it would take that long, but it was the appliques. Oh, thank you, Susan. Okay, I don't know if you had said this or not, Pam, but Laura Lee says her favorite was Persian tile blanket, but she said it was hoard. Lisa says I've made 2 whatchamacallit blankets. They are really cool looking. Angel Renee says my most favorite blanket was just a basic granny square blanket. I made it with 8 balls of Karen sprinkle cakes. Made it for my mom to take on a trip. Oh, she passed away shortly after. Now we all use it. Oh, I'm sorry you lost your mom.
But you've got that piece of her still with you, so.
Yeah, so that's sweet. Okay. Phone keeps ringing. Well, it's some form of a notification.
Yeah, mine went off too. I turned mine down, turned the volume down, but I just got to remember to turn it back up because last night I was popped up on Zach's Live and I turned the volume down on my phone. And I was like, why am I not here? Yeah, it's because I never turned the volume back up. Right, Cheryl, thank you. That's the word I was looking for, like an heirloom with memories.
So. Exactly. All right.
Oh, Tank said she sent an email with one of her sacred space. Okay, so that's the one I made. That's the pattern I used. I just changed up the colors. And if ever y'all do a mosaic, just make sure you have 2 contrasting colors, because at one of them I used I was using gray for my main color all the way through, like a pale gray, and I had a mint green, and once I did like one little section, I ended up ripping it all back out because they were, even though when I put them side by side they didn't look the same, but when I worked up the pattern, the pattern didn't stick out. And if you're going to take the time that it takes to do a mosaic, you want to be able to see the pattern. So make sure you've got a really nice dark color and a nice light color.
And this is a pattern from Mikey with the crochet crowd,
Mm-hmm.
Nordic Stripes crochet blanket. And the link for this one is in the description box of today's live.
Mm-hmm. And he's got the tutorial, or if you want the written pattern, it's on Yarnspiration's website. Yarnspiration has a bunch of free patterns, y'all. If I mean that for
They
anything you can
do.
possibly imagine to want to do.
They do. And then here's another one from Mikey with Crochet Crowd.
Okay,
That
and
was
that
gorgeous.
yep, that's the Better Together Afghan. That's the one that you showed the picture of that I did that was on the swing.
Yeah. And the link for this is in the description box too of today's live.
And I want
It's
to
with,
say he's got a written pattern to it as well on the Crochet Crowd website, but I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure he does though. But
yeah, he's usually good for that.
mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm getting Tanks pulled up, her blanket.
Okay, cool.
The Sacred Space.
And that's a Helen Shrimpton
Oops.
pattern.
Okay, where did you go? I thought I pulled it up. Hold up. Oh, here it is. There it goes.
She said she just sent a second picture too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Tank's blankie. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I love the ones that have this look.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think those are so beautiful.
Yep.
And then, okay, let's see. I only have one email from you, Tank, and that's the only picture. Yeah, nothing in spam.
It may not have come through yet because
Yeah,
she just
no, still nothing yet. Um, I'll give it a little more time. If it hasn't come through, you might want to resend it, Tank. Let's see, where was I? Okay. These are some more crochet free patterns um that I'm going to be sharing, and the ones that I have that I'm sharing right now are some that Cam really likes. So these are some of her favorites. And ignore the price here. That's like for the yarn.
yeah. That's like if you want to buy the kit. Like if you scroll down, there's a box that says download free pattern. It's a free pattern, and this one's on Line Brand's website. There it is. Download free pattern.
Yeah, right here.
Mm-hmm. But
But this is the Tree of Life Afghan. And I will be sharing the knitted version of it when I get to the knit patterns.
and don't be afraid to try a blanket like this because the tree and the baubles and all of that, it's just front post double crochets or puff stitches. It's not as hard as it looks. I mean, it's all about if you can single crochet, double crochet, half double, you can do these blankets. Don't be afraid of them.
And really, I find that goes with pretty much most things crochet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you know how to single crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, and even sometimes triple crochet,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and chain, you really should be able to make pretty much anything.
Yeah. And I think like on the Sophie, you might even have a double, treble stitch. But I mean, it's all the same. I mean, it's the same as a double. You just wrap it a few more times. So
Tank saying the email stuck. Yeah, I haven't gotten it. So let's see. And
while you pull
speaking of,
that up, I finished my little ball. So this is how big one anniversary cake will make you. Oh, that
ooh,
is
nice.
the Sophie's Universe. That's the link for Sophie for the written pattern.
And this don't really. I don't think there's a picture that really shows it.
Mm, I don't know if there is on that page. Scroll back up or look at the top right or top left corner. Is there a picture? A little picture?
Hmm.
Oh, I might have had a picture at the top left. Um,
But y'all did see
yeah.
Pam one. See, yeah, because this is like some other patterns on the
Mm-hmm.
side.
Maybe if you scroll to the very, very bottom. That's not one. That's not one.
Hmm. Because I know whenever I had
There's the
opened,
book. Like if you scroll back up just a smidge, right there on the right, you can buy that book right there um, on Amazon. So you can purchase the pattern already in book form, but you can go to her website here and print it for free. You just have to ignore all the ads and stuff. But
and I think I saw something on Ravelry.
yeah, and you could probably download all the pictures. I mean, get it from other things too. Well, if you find it on Ravelry, when you click on it on Ravelry, it will take you to her website
Okay.
because it's a free and Etsy. If you find it on Etsy and stuff, it'll take you to her website.
I keep wanting to go to the window tab to pull up pictures instead of the Chrome tab for
Regina
website.
says she can't do puff stitches. Can you do a popcorn stitch? Because you can sometimes substitute out a puff stitch for a popcorn stitch. And that's the checkerboard game. Like I said, the original pattern that I printed out was from Red Heart. And Yarnspirations has tried to like review all of the Red Heart ones and write them in more current terminology. So mine wasn't nearly that big, but I crochet super tight and I used what the pattern said. And now that I've learned that, because I mean, growing up, I thought there was one size crochet hook. I thought it was a blue J boy hook or a super tiny steel crochet thread hook. So that's all I ever used until I realized that, oh, there's all kinds of sizes. And I
But
learned I crochet tight when I made a hat for my son's best friend, and it fit my, he was in high school, and the hat fit my niece who was one. I was like, okay, I'm apparently crochet super tight. So then that's when I learned how to go up a couple of hook sizes.
okay, I see Cheryl says she sent me an email too. Okay. I haven't gotten anything from Cheryl yet. I just got something from Tina.
Okay.
Let me pull that up.
Yeah, there are places like if y'all don't want to pay for patterns, which I mean, I am all for supporting designers, but I know a lot of people don't have the funds to be able to do that. So there are a lot of gorgeous, intricate, beautiful patterns, simple patterns that you can um, use. Oh, that's pretty.
I know. I love the colors too.
That
And
looks
this
like who sent that one?
Camper 14, her name
Tina
is
sent that
Tina.
one. She said that was what's Tina? Which blanket is that one? Let's see. Oh, okay, that's her All in the Family. I was gonna say I've used that. I recognize that. Yeah, I've used the All in the Family, the outer section there. That's what I finished off that one blanket that I showed you a picture of before. I haven't made the whole blanket, but I was like, that looks super familiar. That looks like Crochet Crowd. Yep.
Yeah, that one's gorgeous. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I just
You did a
got.
great job, Tina. I'm all about colors.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Colors can make or break a
Mm-hmm.
project. It really can.
And sometimes even the same, like you can use the same color, but just switch up the order in which you're using them, and it'll make it look completely different.
Hold on a minute.
She's and like if you've never seen the Sophie's Universe done in a solid, it's gorgeous in a solid as well.
And this is the other picture Tank sent me.
Nice.
Um,
That's pretty.
the sacred space. I still haven't gotten Cheryl's email. I don't know what's going on with that. Let's
I have that same problem, Tina. Sometimes my phone and the pictures or the colors just don't mesh. Uh,
I don't know
what?
if my email's acting up or something.
Chris said Nightbots sent them to Pam Crochet and Knit Corner, not to me. Hold on, I'll drop it again. It should send you to me. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Don't click on the one that says Pamela. Click on the one that says BeeCreative.
I'm gonna pull up my email.
There you go. There you go. That I just dropped it. Click on the one that's BeeCreative Crafts. Yeah.
Yeah, that way in case.
Nightbot heard Pamela and just dropped it. Nightbot's listening and lurking.
But yeah, but yeah, I think
Chris
it's funny.
has my channel. Chris is in my chats. We buddies.
That's the second email that is acting up on.
Huh.
But yeah, this is Tank's second one. But I'm still waiting for Cheryl's email to come through. I don't know. But I do have my email address because I don't know, maybe
Hey,
I know sometimes people leave the 2020 off.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe type the email a little wrong or something. I don't know.
Okay, so Tina said that one is 3 greens, 2 purples, 1 orange, and 1 yellow is in that picture there. Hey, Brenda, she's back.
Yay!
So Regina was saying she doesn't have the yarn to make something like that. My aunt will she will find me sweaters and stuff at yard sales or Goodwill or whatever, and then you can unravel them. So if you go to and check out Goodwill, because a lot of times you can find crocheted blankets for like super duper cheap. And even if you don't want to destroy it, but if you want to get the yarn out of it and make something different to make it your own, you could absolutely do that. And sometimes you can find yarn for sale at Goodwill for really inexpensive. May not be the colors that you like or want, but to do a scrap blanket, it's amazing at what you can do. That one I told you I would show you the pieces parts. It's over there, so I'm going to stop my cam and mute myself, and I'll grab it right quick.
And I see why Cheryl's email didn't go through. There was a typo.
Okay. All right, I'm going to mute me, and I'm going to go grab the pieces parts that I have made for this wedding.
Okay, so I got an email from you, Cheryl, but like I'll show you what comes up with where the picture attachment is. It's not showing like the actual picture. See, that's what the picture's looking like. So you probably gonna have to send it again. Like I would do a new email. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I missed something. Hold up.
I'm back.
Okay.
There's part of it. But you make it in all these little... You make it, and then you make a bunch of these. Ooh, I stirred up the cat hair. Yeah. And I don't know if I will ever finish this one or not. I maybe will. I still have all the yarn. Let's see. Oh, yeah, here's one. But you make a bunch of the little octagons. I guess they're octagons. 1, 2, 3. Whatever shape you got here. And then you sew it all together. But it's sewn together with single crochets. So So you take the little eyeball, you make a bunch of eyeballs. That's what I was calling them. But
nice.
and then so all your little octagonals go here. So like I said, this is why this one has never been put together. Yes, the double wedding ring. And then this goes here. But once you get it all put together, it comes out looking like that. But this one I lost interest in really quickly because it was taking me forever. But it's really not hard. It's just a lot of pieces, parts to sew together. Which is why it's still in baggies.
Yep. All right. Here's the written pattern for the Nordic stripes blanket.
Mm-hmm.
Which y'all seen that one more than once now, but there is that. Yeah, poor Cheryl. Her emails are just not working today. I had finally gotten an email from her, Pam, but the picture's like not showing. It had like a question mark.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I heard you saying that when I was.
Yeah.
But I have all these may make something totally different because they're already made. But yeah. Oh yeah, and then I also got all of these already made. But
All right. I hope you have a good day, Tank.
yeah, bye, Tank.
So you're still good on time?
Yeah.
Okay. I figure I'll probably take about 30 more minutes to get through the patterns. So I just wanted to make sure that's cool.
That's fine with me. I'm good. I don't have to be anywhere. I think it's 5 o'clock, so I'm good.
Okay. Yeah. And it's funny because like some lives, it's like you go through everything quickly, and then other lives, you never know. Okay, I think I got it now. Yay!
Regina says, finish it, Pam. I mean, the yarn is here. It's in this little top cubby right here. I've still got it all. And more than likely, I was using the hook size that it recommends, so I don't know. Oh, pretty.
Yeah, this is Cheryl's blankie. I think that's cute.
I like that.
Cheryl Crafts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so cute. And that would be a pattern like, oh, you could have so much fun with the colors.
Oh, right. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's get that down. Give me just a second. Okay. All right, let me pull up the next pattern. And this one is a paid for crochet pattern that I'm sharing now.
Cindy said she's multitasking again. Go figure. I'm always multitasking. Y'all, these patterns are so amazing. These are cool. Yep. And she does have some that are larger that you can do with like C2C, but most of them are single crochet, but they all have that optical illusion, and it's all just about stitch and changing the colors. I designed an optical illusion one, but I haven't made it. I've designed it. It's in graph form. I just haven't made it because I know it's going to take me forever because of the way it's. Have you ever looked at those pictures and it looks like they're moving? Like you look at them and it looks like yeah, I did one that's a spiral, so it looks like it's twisting when you look at it, but I don't know how it's going to crochet, if it's going to, if when it's crocheted, if it'll still have that same effect. But
yeah, I think that's cool.
But she has a lot, that hooked creation, she has a lot of those types of optical illusion type blankets.
Okay, I know what it is now. I got a little confused. Okay, now we're on the free knitted patterns that
Hmm.
Pamela
Yeah, and that's
out of Pamela's like kind of favorite type patterns.
hmm yeah. In
And
the
it,
tree life, I mean, you can do these in different colors too, but I just think they turn out really cool in the solids too.
yeah, and again, that's not the price of the pattern. This is a free pattern.
Yeah, that's the price if you wanted to buy a kit from them with all the yarn, the crochet hooks, the stitch markers, darning needles, the whole 9 yards if you wanted to buy it. So,
Yeah, and oh, there's one more Pam's favorites.
bye, Tina. Thanks for joining us.
Have a good day, Tina.
Yeah, we got a little chatty. That's okay.
I know because it's like I try to keep my lives at an hour and a half, but there are times I go over.
You can blame it on me. It's all good.
It's all good. That's where, like, usually if I run over, I try to make sure my guest is okay because I feel like we really hadn't shared that many patterns yet. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, sometimes I will, I'll have links in the description box that I don't always like get into on the
Right.
live, but I like to at least like share a good bit or a
Mm-hmm.
decent amount. But
Yeah.
yeah, this one's beautiful. It's a hand knitted chunky lace blanket. This is a
Mm-hmm.
paid for pattern.
Mm-hmm. But it was in my original personal Pinterest before I started my either of my stitching businesses. But yeah, that's it just looked like something I wanted to try to tackle. And then I remembered, oh yeah, I can't knit that fast.
But it is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But that you probably also have to be very careful. It's probably very easy to make mistakes on that.
Oh yeah, and I figure, and I'm not good. Like if I mess up in knitting, I can't fix it as easily as I can in crochet. Like in the crochet, I can unravel, redo, and 10 times if I need to. But with knitting, I'm not that good.
All right. So now we're going to get into some of my favorite free crochet patterns. This is the lotus flower blanket,
Well, that's pretty.
and I love the stitch and I love the colors. Um, and then here you have it in some other colors.
That would be pretty if you had like a peacocky type colored yarn.
Hold up, wait till you see one of the patterns I share.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the yarn that I used on the pretty as a peacock shawl would probably
Mm-hmm.
be wonderful. Let's see.
There.
Alley Cat's out. This is Anna Tales by Kame Crochet.
Well, that's pretty.
See, I love details.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful textured stitches.
See, and that one doesn't. It looks like it would be difficult, but it's probably not. So
Yeah,
that's I like.
that's what I find a lot of times. Especially crochet stuff looks difficult,
Mm-hmm.
but it really isn't.
Right.
Um, so don't let patterns intimidate you.
Mm-hmm.
My advice is just to dive in.
Mm-hmm. And don't be afraid to try. Like if you have your favorite stitch, don't be afraid to change it up and try it and see if you like it. I
Oh,
like that one too.
this okay, yeah. For a second there, when I saw the price, I was like, hold up, I thought it was free. Which this is something I try to mention from time to time. This is a pattern that has a free version and a paid for version. If you
Mm.
click buy it now, that's the paid for version. If you click visit pattern website, that takes you to the free pattern.
And
And the,
usually the free pattern has ads, but
mhm, that's what I was about to say.
mm-hmm.
That's the only difference. One
Yep,
has ads and the paid for doesn't. But this is the peacock plums afghan.
pretty. I
Like I
almost sent you a peacock stitch one. You make all the individual feathers and then you sew it all together. My friend did it. She said she would never do another one. I mean, I think you make it was like 300 and something peacock feathers, and then you sew them all together.
But yeah, that's why I was saying wait for the peacock.
Mm-hmm.
Look how
Susan, what
gorgeous.
is the pattern to the blanket on your chair? This one, the bright colorful one, Susan. If so, it is a modified millstone stitch, and I put a tutorial up on my channel last weekend. But you can make it just using the standard millstone stitch. The multicolor is Mandala Ombre in the color Happy, and the black is Red Heart Super Saver Black.
Yep. Pam has a lot of blankies.
Mm-hmm. And on my channel, I call it the Happily Stained because happy for the color that I use and stained for stained glass. But yeah.
You know what's funny? You know how earlier we were talking about Helen Shrimpton?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what?
You picked one of her patterns?
Yeah,
Yes, her face pattern. Yes.
I didn't realize it. This one's
Mm-hmm.
called Faye. Look how gorgeous.
Yes. So pretty. Her patterns are, I called her Sharpton a while ago, I think. But yeah, Shrimpton. Yeah.
I love those colors.
Mm-hmm.
And here it is. Oh, that's pretty too.
It is amazing because like all these are the same blanket, just different colors. Look how that flower pops in the middle of that
Hmm.
one.
And
It's
it's funny how, it really makes something look completely different when you
mm-hmm.
use different colors.
Exactly.
Such, such a gorgeous pattern.
Mm-hmm. She has a lot. You should check out some of her other patterns. They're all, especially if you like that from the center out. She has a lot, and they're gorgeous.
And I am curious, me and Pam both already answered this, but what do y'all find has been the most challenging blanket pattern that you've made? This one here, this is Charlotte's Universe.
Okay, so Deidre, Ace Uys Ace. She is the designer of Sophie's Universe.
It's funny, I was just about to say I think that was the same one.
Yep, Deidre. Yeah,
But yeah,
and
look at how gorgeous.
she's got a lot of from the center out patterns as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you notice that's mostly what I've been sharing.
Yep.
But I
See,
think
like
that
her blankets aren't huge. Some of them you can make them bigger or smaller, but I mean that was a person holding it over their shoulders, so I mean they're not huge. Bye, Niecy. Thank you for joining us.
have a good day, Nisi. Okay.
Thank you, Susan. She said that's beautiful. Want to try it? It's a really easy. You just work with 2 skeins at one time. I did a modification because I don't like cutting at the end of each row and having a bunch of fringe. So I show you how to carry it up the side. That's pretty.
This one's De Histoire Naturelle Chiquis, something like that. And the
Crochet
designer
along.
is Christina Hattering. I'm not good pronouncing some of these names.
Oh, that one's gorgeous. See, those are the types I was looking for, but a lot of my pattern links weren't working. And y'all, if you go and you look at these, you don't have to. Okay, I watched a video on how to say this name. I can't look at the name when I say it though. Shapias. If you look, I can't look at it because I want to say sheep cheese. But they use Shapias yarn, which can be pricey, but you don't have to use that yarn to make this pattern. You can use whatever yarn you want to use, just so long as you have your hook size that goes with that yarn so that it lays right. But yeah, you don't have to use the yarn that they use. Hola Maritza, you can use whatever you want.
Yeah, and one thing too, like usually what I would recommend, try to use the same weight of yarn.
Right, right.
Now, if you use a different weight, you're gonna have to make adjustments to get it, the sizing right.
Mm-hmm. And Angel Renee, I think you can. And she's saying you have to use Ravelry more to look up patterns. You can filter it by free versus paid. So, like, if you only want a free pattern, it'll only show you the free ones. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the filters on Ravelry.
Yep.
Use them.
And if you have a yarn, like if you want to see a bunch of patterns that you can make with a certain yarn, it's not as detailed, I found, but you can a lot of times look up that yarn and it'll show you different patterns that have been made using that yarn.
Yeah. Oops, I'm trying to pull Ravelry up. Allie makes it difficult to type and stuff. All right, let's see. Maritza has joined us. Howdy, howdy. And what are you working on, Maritza? All right, I am going to pull up just the regular Ravelry, so that way I can share how some of the filters work.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to look up blanket. Oh, in the search box, I put blanket. All right. So if you notice on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see where it has craft. And it says crochet knitting, machine knitting, loom knitting. So if you want just crochet, you click on crochet. Then you have categories like stuff like clothing, accessories, medical, home, toys and hobbies, pet components. So, well, this isn't really applicable to blankets, but you see how it breaks it down more when I clicked on clothing, where it has coat, jacket, dress, leggings. You can look that way. And here is where you can sort by if the pattern's free or if you have to purchase it. See, the top one's free, and that gives you the free patterns.
There's Sophie.
the universe pattern.
Yeah, when you clicked on free, Sophie's universe was right there beside it was one of the main ones I saw.
And now I clicked on purchase online, and it brings up the ones you have to pay for. And there are a few other options, but really, it's really free and purchase online, at least that I find a person would typically use. Let's see, where's
like that printed, like purchase and print, that one they'll mail you the actual hard copy of the pattern.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah.
You have your little tabby on it. Mm-hmm.
See, there's the one on Ravelry. Okay. Then you have if it has photo. So if you want photo, all only photos, click yes.
Oh, that Rosetta, like right there, one down and one over. I was looking to send you that one from the Sophie. Rosetta Shapias. It's in the middle. It's in the second column. It's called Rosetta Shapias CA.
Oh, I see it now.
That's one I was going to try to send you a picture of, but it was well, the link didn't work. It was like a broken link, but that's a beautiful pattern. That's one I want to try to make eventually.
And then let's see. And then like here, if you're looking for certain attributes, like for instance, color work, you can select from there. Or like size. If you're looking like for adult, you would go to age or size and click adult. or like newborn, whichever size you're looking for. Um, and then you have like here, you can do female, male, or unisex.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what weight of yarn you're looking for. If you want fingering, click on fingering.
And
Uh,
Chris said that Yarn Sub is a great source if you're gonna switch out yarns. Like it'll tell you what is comparable to the shape is to what you might have. And if you do switch up, you could do a gauge swatch to make sure that your project will come out the same size. And I'm not gonna lie, I very rarely do a gauge swatch when I'm doing my blankets just because I just don't. But I probably should because a lot of times the blankets come out small, and that's how I actually got into merging other patterns, is because I would get done and it would be small, so then I would need to make it bigger, so I'd go find other stuff to add to it.
what's funny is I typically don't do the gauge swatches.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, usually, you know, it comes out right for me. Um, or I kind of know, like, can figure out when to stop type
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not the best about the
Especially if
swatches.
you're going from the center out. Like if you're going across this way, you can tell how wide it's going to be. But if you're going
Hmm.
from the center out, not as much. But
Yeah, and like usually a lot of times I'll just kind of put like my chain up against the bed to
mm-hmm.
see if it looks like if it's long enough or too
Yep,
long.
I do
Um,
that too. I also very rarely block anything. I'm terrible about blocking. But mostly with the blankets, I don't have to worry about blocking it. It's only with the like doilies and stuff. Now those I will block, but usually for blankets I don't.
Ow, Allie.
Mhm.
She dug her claws in. All right. So the last crochet pattern is Nature's Walk blanket, and I love the look of this one.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's kind
think
of a sampler style blanket.
and I don't know, like I just find there's something about like the colors
Mm-hmm.
and just the designs
It's
on
pretty.
it. All right. So I have 10 knit shawls, I think, patterns, and then we'll be wrapping things up.
All right.
Let's see. This one's Little Johnny's Patchwork Blankie. See, they call it Blankie too. This is by Trudy Evans, and I love the colors. I
I do
really love.
too. It looks like mint chocolate chip
Hmm.
or something.
And I love the texture.
Mm-hmm. You said that's a knitted one?
Yeah,
I like that though.
yeah. If y'all notice, I have a thing for texture, and I like beautiful stitches.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like knitting, I love cables. Um, and color too. Like I'm big on color. This is Fire on the Waves by Jennifer Smith. And
I
look,
almost I almost sent you that pattern.
I think this is beautiful.
That one was in my Pinterest, and I thought after all the other ones weren't working, I thought I'm not sending her. It's not going to work. But I have that photo of that blanket on my Pinterest board, so it's good to know that it still exists.
Yeah, Ravelry tends to be my go-to for looking for patterns.
Mm-hmm. Bye, Lorley.
Have a good day, Lorley. Oh, Cheryl's saying textured patterns by Kirsten Holloway are great. Now one that I think is really good for textured patterns is oh well at least Stitch Tutorials. Oh, I can't think of the channel name. Oh, I think it's Rich Textured Stitches. I like a lot of the tutorials from there. Okay, let me pull up the next one. All right, this is the eyelet lace afghan by Sherry Hawks.
That's pretty too. All the cabling.
Cable and lace. Yeah, because the shawl I'm currently working on has both lace work and cables. Let's see, this is Leaves and Twist Afghan by Linda Gloss. And look at how gorgeous.
That's pretty too. That would be pretty in like a hunter green.
Hmm.
Or
Yeah.
like or that Karen Simply Soft with just a little bit of shimmer, or what's that other one? Any of those that have that glossy look to them.
Mm. See, I'm not big on the color for this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not overly big on yellow.
Mm-mm. It's
Now,
like a mustardy, yeah, but
if you combine it with like other colors,
mm-hmm.
you know,
Other fall-like colors, yeah.
mhm. And sometimes even like summer, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I, like I said, there are some colors like that, orange. I find by itself, I'm not big on the color.
Well, see, I can orange anything. I'm good at orange. I'm good. I like orange. I have
But
a lot of orange stuff.
we all have our color preference.
Right. We have our favorites. And I have a lot of orange around this room. Just, yep. Oh, that's pretty too.
Nora's Vintage Afghan by Nora Goggin. And again, I love all the texture.
Chris said that would be pretty in cotton bamboo yarn. That you're right.
Pretty, pretty.
Oh, that's got a lot of. That's like a sampler style too, with all the
Mhm.
different boxes being different box. Mm-hmm.
And then, like the color choices, that's one that you could really have fun with.
Oh
And,
yeah.
and one thing, too, I'm going to point out, too, and this is something I have pointed out, in the past, but sometimes I get ideas, too, for colors if you click on projects. A lot of times people that have made the pattern will submit their pictures. Ooh, I like this. I think that's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. And show you what it looks like in other colors. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one thing a lot of times I like to do. It kind of gives you some ideas.
See, and those look like all totally different blankets, but it's all the same pattern.
Hmm. Okay, Allie, what are you? She's pushing my scarf. Like where it was kind of like tight.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where Tiny went.
See, this is what Allie wants to do when I'm live. Curl up
Lay
on my
on.
shoulder. All right, this one's Ito Mammy Drawing by Dahem Dominique. But again, lace work and cables.
Chris has a good question. She wants to know, are there sites that show equivalent stitches between knit and crochet? I don't know.
I don't either.
Um, that's a good question.
Now, I do know like how like you have like the knit stitch and knitting. Well, I'll say stock. I'll really say stockinette stitch because knitting can be a little tricky because you have your flat knitting, and if you do all knit stitches and flat knitting, that's going to be garter stitch. Um, but if you working in the round, it would become stockinette stitch. And if you're working flat, you would have to get stockinette stitch. You would have to knit the front, the right side rows, and the wrong side rows you purl. Um, I forgot where I was going. Oh yeah, but in crochet, there's a stitch called waistcoat stitch that looks like the knit stitch in knitting. And I know, like too, like with Tunisian crochet, some of the stitches with that look knitted.
Hmm. But I mean, there's probably like that tree of life, you get the same effect in knit and crochet. So they've taken the same pattern and done it both ways. So you could see which stitch made the same. But that's good.
Let's see. Susan's asking, do you do mosaic blankets? Pam does.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't yet, but that is something I do eventually want to learn as mosaic. Jennifer saying I'd like to make some pet blankets with patterned pet squares.
That would be cute.
On the live that I recently did with Crystal, the Yorny Chicken on it, there was a granny square that was shared in the patterns of cats. Um, because we shared a bunch of patterns related to cats on that live.
Mm-hmm. I tried to
So
make a dog one that was mosaic. Like I designed it, but I didn't like the way it looked. I mean, it looked like a dog. It looked like a terrier. It was very boxy. But
let's see. This was Exquisite Cable Throw by Linda Smith.
oh, that's pretty too. Now you can make a crochet cable.
Yeah, that's true.
Using double crochets and about where you like front post and how they lay. But I don't know if there's a website that says, okay, if you want to make this cable throw and you want to make it and it's in knit, if you want to make the same one in crochet, how to switch up the stitches. I don't know if there's a website out there that does that. Probably.
I don't know.
I just don't know what it would be. But
But for crochet, I know Rich Fiber Textures has tutorials on some cable stitches.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now, one thing I do want to point out on this, you notice how the edging has like different looking stitching per se.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the garter stitch. And a lot of times in knitting patterns, you'll see like the edges tend to be garter.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that is if you end with stockinette stitch on flat pieces, stockinette curls.
Mm-hmm.
So you need the garter stitch to keep your work from curling.
Mm-hmm. And they're saying in the chat, Bag O' Day. Bag O' Day also has some cable Afghans tutorials. So does Mikey from the Crochet Crowd. Those are, a couple of my go-tos. Usually Mikey, because I can get the written pattern from Yarn Inspirations, but Crystal, I've done a lot of her. I've done a lot of her tutorials. I really like her. She's a really good teacher, especially if you are just starting out.
See, I gravitate towards her shawl pattern. Mm-hmm. Which, speaking of which, I'm working on her olive branch shawl, and I recently finished the Killer Queen shawl of hers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've made a couple of her shawls. I don't wear shawls very often, but I kind of just got in the mindset that I wanted to make a shawl, so I've made a couple of shawls. Hey, Tamara. Tamara Joe says she's working on 2C2C blankets.
How are you doing, Tamara Joe? I was about to ask again what she's working on. It kind of just comes out,
Right. Oh, I do the same thing.
And then I'm like, oh yeah, it's in your comment, or you just read it.
I do that too.
But howdy. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Which I should be sharing my progress on the olive branch shawl, mm-hmm. and then the finished Killer Queen shawl on Tuesday. Um, I don't know. The last couple of weeks, I have not been, getting my videos done. I don't know. I just have not had a lot of energy lately. Um, but hopefully this week I get back on track with my videos.
My problem is I have so many that I want to do, and then I just get so overwhelmed with all the ones that I want to do that I just don't get any of them done because I'm thinking of what's coming next, and I need to just stop and just do one and get it off the list. And so that's what I did with this one, because somebody on my live wanted to know how to do the stitch, and I thought, you know what, I'll just go ahead and film up the video, the tutorial, and get it out. So I did.
But me, I've been lazy getting videos done.
Yep. So this one jumped to the top of the list. It wasn't even on the list, and it got stuck on there, and I got it done.
All right. This one is Leafy Lace Blanket 2 by Alice Kolush. I don't know. But yeah, look at how pretty.
Oh, that's nice.
Looks like little leaves. But you see again how it has a different stitch along the edges.
And you do that all at the same time, so you got your border already in, and when you're done, you're done.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
I'm doing good, Miss Tamara Joe.
Yep, me too. I'm gonna get my olive branch shawl on later on today. Work on that. All right. This one is Overlapping Leaves Blanket by Knitting Unlimited.
Oh, that's pretty too.
Mm-hmm. It looks kind of like, what's the name of that flower?
Like an orchid, maybe?
Yeah. But I think that's pretty.
Mm-hmm. All right. You know what it's called? The one that curls up like that? I don't know. Regina said she's still working on her squares. It's going to take forever.
All right. We are on the final pattern. And all these links are in the description box of today's live. This one is Checkerboard Throw by Faith Smith. This is the one I was referring to that was kind of like the checker.
Mm-hmm. And I started making one similar to that. Just practicing with my knit and purl, but they called it the basket weave. But I guess if you did more, if you added more to it, it does kind of give it a checkerboard effect.
Yeah, and like one thing too, sometimes you don't always necessarily know that you're doing a certain stitch, because you'll do a pattern and they don't refer to the stitch name.
Right. They just tell you how to do it exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But yeah, so yeah, I think that covers everything. Like I said, hopefully I get back on track with all my videos this coming week. That's the plan, at least. So I'm going to go ahead and play my little closing video, and then we'll come back and say our adiosis.
Sounds good.
Let's see. All right, so I want to thank y'all all for watching today. I enjoyed chatting with all of y'all. And thank you, Pam, for coming live with me.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And I hope everyone has a fabulous Yorny day. Be the light, and bye.